KFA Vision Beyond the Box.
Okay, good morning to all the viewers. This is Resta, Chairman of KFA. KFA was established in July 2001, some 17 years back, and we are into three initiatives. We are into training, that's how we started. We are also into education, and we are into consulting. So all these three spectrums have been performing very well in KFA, and we are moving as an emerging company in the Nepalese economy. Today we are going to talk about entrepreneurship. Actually, we are going to run an entrepreneurship series in the days to come. So this is an initiative. This YouTube video is an initiative for all the people who are relevant, who thinks that entrepreneurship can be taken to a next level, to understand and to implement the things that we have shared in their own businesses, or even if somebody wants to start their own business, they can learn things from this particular initiative and take it forward to their own initiatives. We will talk about entrepreneurship. We will not divulge too much into a slides thing, but this is just going to be a guide for us. So we'll take around 10 to 15 minutes to discuss a few things about entrepreneurship. In this chapter, we will discuss about what is the importance of entrepreneurship, why entrepreneurship, right? Describe corporate entrepreneurship and its use in established firms. Discuss the three main reasons people decide to become entrepreneurs. Why do people want to become an entrepreneur? What are the major three reasons, right? Identify four main characteristics of successful entrepreneurs. To become a successful entrepreneur, or if a successful entrepreneur is already there, what are the main four characteristics that he or she possesses? Explain 5 common myths regarding entrepreneurship. There are 5 common myths which we are going to just run through. Next, please. Explain how entrepreneurial firms differ from salary substitute and lifestyle firms. So, we'll discuss that. Discuss the changing demographics of entrepreneurs in the United States and around the world as well. Discuss the impact of entrepreneurial firms on economies and societies. Identify ways in which large firms benefit from the presence of smaller entrepreneurial firms. And explain the entrepreneurial process at the last. As you know that there is a tremendous interest in entrepreneurship in the modern times, because people want to become entrepreneurs, and more so in Nepal, entrepreneurs are required because, as you know, that a lot of people are traveling outside Nepal to Gulf countries and other countries in much harsher conditions. They are going away from their family. They are going away from their happiness to earn a living for themselves. So what we, the entrepreneurs of Nepal, have to be more responsible is we need to create ventures, we need to create entrepreneurship firms so that we can keep these people in Nepal, we can retain these people here, and we can create value, and we can give them good life here in Nepal, rather than allowing these people to actually go abroad and work for somebody else. If somebody is born in Nepal, they have to contribute for the Nepalese cause. And the only major way that can keep the people from flying away to other countries is to create an entrepreneurship ventures. Like kura matra garera bhayen, and lip service will not help. We need to create ventures. We need to create value. We need to create products, services, so that we can retain these people. And the world trend is accordingly going forward in the same manner. There are some data, like there were 35,600 books dealing with entrepreneurship and 62,700 focused on small business. When we start from small. We start from basics. So there are so many books focused in small business. There are so many things in the internet and in the YouTube channels that you can learn these days, which in our times, it was very difficult for us to get hold of those resources. If you look at college courses, that today there are more than 2,000 colleges and universities in the United States alone, which deals with the entrepreneurship course. And if you look at worldwide, there are many. If you look at the academic definition given by Stevenson and Gerillo, it says that entrepreneurship is the process by which individuals pursue opportunities without regard to resources they currently control. And this is the sacrifice that they need to do. Please highlight, please note the phrase, without regard to resources they currently control. if a person is earning a salary, that particular salary might be sacrificed for some time, because there has to be a risk. It's a process by which individuals pursue their opportunities, but they need to, they need to give away some of the resources that they currently control. That's a risk that entrepreneurs need to take. If you look at the venture capitalist Fred Wilson's definition, entrepreneurship is the art of turning an idea into a business. Idea is very important. In the next chapter, we're going to talk about generating new ideas. Okay? Today, we are talking about introduction of entrepreneurship. In the next chapter, we're going to talk about generating new ideas. So, it is an art of turning an idea into a business. Entrepreneurs assemble and then integrate all the resources needed: the money, the people. These days, for the people, we call them the human capital, right? The money, the human capital, the people, the business model, which is very important, the systems, processes, guidelines, the business model, the strategy to transform an invention or an idea into a viable business. So it needs an integration of all these factors: the money, the people, the business model, and the strategy to perform an invention or an idea into a viable business. So that's very important. Next, please. The concept of corporate entrepreneurship, it is a constellation of the entrepreneurship at the firm level. Now, whether you establish a private limited company or a partnership firm, or a joint stock company or a public limited company, you need to take that idea and get into a firm level, in an organization level, so which is called a corporate entrepreneurship. All firms fall along the conceptual continuum that ranges from highly conservative to highly entrepreneurial. The position of a firm on this continuum is referred to as its entrepreneurial intensity. So, if you do it on a corporate level, it is much more structured. You can add much more value in a much bigger way. So, what is the difference between an entrepreneurial firm and a conservative firm? Entrepreneurial firms are more proactive. Okay? Whereas conservative firms take more wait and see posture. Porkhara hera भन्ने खालको कन्सेप्टमा conservative firms हुन्छ भने, entrepreneurial firms are more proactive. They forecast the risks, they forecast the opportunities, and they take certain actions today, which is being proactive. They are very innovative. They are creative. The only constant that is there is change. That's what they say. So innovation is the key. You need to create new things. You need to create an idea. Risk taking. Whereas conservative firms are more or less innovative. They are more repetitive. They've been doing the same business from generations. They inherit the same business. They keep on repeating the same thing. They will earn a value, or they can create some kind of employment that is there, but they are less innovative. Whereas they are also very risk averse. They do not want to move from here to there. They don't want to take more risk. They do not want to expand. They don't want to grow. Whereas entrepreneurial firms are more risk taking. On the risk side, we will talk more, because risk taking can be sometimes saying that entrepreneurial firms are very risk taking. They are like gamblers. That is a myth. That is one of the myths that we're going to talk. Risk taking means that here we are mentioning risk taking is all about taking calculated risk. Next, please. The three primary reasons that people want to become entrepreneurs and start their own firms: desire to be their own boss. You need that freedom. You need that freedom. You want to create certain things. Obviously, we do not recommend a fresh graduate just coming out of the school to become an entrepreneur on day one itself. We consider that there should be three schools in life. The first one is an academic school, where people learn in the classrooms. The second one is an employment, where they understand process, systems, guidelines, how to deal with people. So that's also a school when they join as in a job as an employee. So that's the second school. And third school, after getting the exposure at the academic school, which is the first school, and the employment, which is the second school, then they should go into the third level, and then they can desire to become their own boss. Desire to pursue their own ideas. Like if you work in a big corporates, there might be situations that you will not be able to push your ideas through. You need to work in certain systems. You need to work on a strategy or a product developed by somebody else. So your freedom and your lack of your creativity somewhere killed, or it is not not able to prosper in that manner. So desire to pursue their own business. So this is also another factor which drives people to become an entrepreneur. And obviously financial rewards. And if you compare dividends, profits, bonuses coming from a business, compare that with salary, and there's no comparison, because from business you really can make a killing compared to the salary structure. So what are the 4 primary characteristics of a successful entrepreneur? You must have a passion for business. There must be hunger. There must be eagerness. There must be that desire to quench into the darkness. That risk taking is there. Okay, so that's why in order to take that risk, there must be a passion. Okay? Somebody who doesn't have a passion for business will never be a successful entrepreneur. The product must be able to satisfy customer needs. That's what is referred in product customer focus. The product must be able to satisfy customer needs. So that's the second factor. Because today, even if you come out with a brilliant typewriter or a brilliant iPod or a Walkman or a pager, it will not work because the customer doesn't need those products. They have already evolved. So what does the customer need, and what is the product that you're designing? The third one is execution intelligence. Having a brilliant idea is great. Having a brilliant strategy is great. Having planning things in ahead, like budgeting, planning, that's also great. But you need to execute that. But you need to implement that in your day-to-day business. You need to ensure that things are happening down in the shop floor. Either it's a manufacturing business or a service business. Execution is very, very important. Tenacity despite failure. If you search a dictionary for the word tenacity, it is called stubbornness. There will be a failure. Apple or Amazon, even if you talk to their bosses, they'll say that all of their products did not succeed, have not succeeded. They have faced the failure. But how do you get back from that failure? How do you become stubborn so that you keep on trying, keep on persevering to get that thing? So that's tenacity despite failure. So all these 4 characteristics, let me repeat once again: passion for business, product customer focus, execution intelligence, and tenacity despite failure. Stubbornness, and then the ability to bounce back despite failure are the 4 primary characteristics to become a successful entrepreneur. That's very important. Next. Now, I don't want to run through these because I've already explained. There are some certain slides, so we can go to the next slides. So let's talk about myths about entrepreneurs. Some say that entrepreneurs are born, not made. It is a myth. The myth is based on the mistaken belief that some people are genetically predisposed to be an entrepreneur. That's rubbish. The consensus of many studies is that no one is born to be an entrepreneur. Everyone has the potential to become one. Because we have seen the sons and daughters of biggest entrepreneurs failing like anything. Although they are born with silver spoon, there are cases, there are stories that we know that they have failed very badly, and there are enough stories about the first generation entrepreneurs who have really made well. So entrepreneurship can be learned. No one is born with that thing, and you can really, everyone has the potential to be an entrepreneur. Next. So, what are the characteristics of an entrepreneur? He or she has to be a moderate risk taker. He or she has to be a networker, networking skills in the body. Achievement motivated in the body, like performance motivated, achievement motivated. If there are opportunities, you need to be alert to the opportunities. There are many examples. You need to be creative. You need to be decisive. No, you need to be decisive. You need to be energetic. Right? You need to be energetic. You must have a good work-life balance. You must sleep properly. You have good food, good exercise. When you come to your office, you are energetic. You are not lackluster. Has a strong work ethic. An entrepreneur must be able to create as an example himself or herself. You cannot say that like, no. He or she must, himself or herself, must have a strong work ethic. lengthy attention span. You need to persevere. You need to think long term. You need to think medium term, at least. Some people are short term. So you need to have a lengthy attention span. Optimistic disposition. Pessimist will never become an entrepreneur. You must have optimism. You must be able to persuasive or persevere. Keep on trying. There's a difference between being patient and being perseverance. Patience is just waiting for the things to happen, but perseverance is you're working hard every day in, day out, and I'm also waiting for the right time. So there's a difference. So you need to persevere things, you need to promote things, you need to be resource assembler, leverager, network, getting synergy from the team, getting strategic alliances. You just don't look at your own resources. You can tie up with other companies for growth. You have to be self-confident, self-starter. You need to be tenacious, stubborn. Jiddi hunu. For success, jiddi hunu. You need to tolerate toleration of ambiguity. So quite a million out there in entrepreneurship. There will be unclear things. There has to be flexibility. The ambiguous cheese like money, tolerate गर्न सक्ने हुनु पर्यो. Finally, you need to be a visionary. You want to take your enterprise from here to there. So those are the main characteristics of an entrepreneur. I'm sure this has helped you. Next. Entrepreneurs are gamblers. So this is another myth. They are not gamblers. Entrepreneurs typically have jobs that are less structured, and so they face a more uncertain set of possibilities than people in traditional jobs. So secured jobs just because in that manner they take risk. But many entrepreneurs have a strong need to achieve and set challenging goals of behavior that is often equated with risk taking. They are moderate risk takers. They take calculated risk. They do analysis. They do market survey, and then they take decisive decisions. But they are no way they are called gamblers. Next. Entrepreneurs are motivated primarily by money. No. Money is the byproduct. Cash is the byproduct. They are primarily motivated by the value that they can create in the society or the economy. Okay? They are primarily motivated by the idea, turning that idea into a business, which can create value in terms of product and services, which can create value in terms of generating new entrepreneurship in the country, which can contribute to the society in terms of stopping these people flying out of Nepal in search of jobs to Middle East and other countries to keep them here. So that's the motivation factor for entrepreneurs. Now in that process, if you do the process right, the money will follow. Obviously money is a great motivation, profit is a great motivation, but money is not something that they start with. They start with creating value, creating the value proposition. Another myth, like entrepreneurs should be young and energetic. No, entrepreneurs can start their ventures at different span of time. Energetic, definitely yes, but not necessarily young. I actually mentioned that if you have some experience, the prior experience will actually help. Next. So you have to get into an entrepreneurial firms, from salary substitute firms to lifestyle firms. The focus has to go into entrepreneurial firms, which means firms that bring new products and services to the market by creating and seizing opportunities regardless of the resources they control. Rather than becoming copycat or me too things, you need to create new things, new products suited for the new demands. So that is an entrepreneurial firm. So that's how we need to move forward. Minority entrepreneurs versus senior entrepreneurs. I just want to skip this slide because there are different structures in different countries. So let's move forward. I've already talked about young entrepreneurs, so let's move forward. Innovation and job creation. I've already mentioned that. You have to be innovative and create the job. Next. Impact on society, impact on larger firms. So many entrepreneurial firms have built their entire business models around producing products and services that help larger firms become more efficient and effective. Now, if you are starting, you might be starting in a B2B model. When I say B2B model, it's a business-to-business model. Your customer is another large business. You're producing raw materials or service for the large business. Like KFA Consulting, for example, our customer is Himalayan Bank, our customer is Reliance Life Insurance, Our customer is Town Development Fund. So these are larger firms. We are helping these larger firms to become more efficient and effective by